West Ham returned to Premier League action after a rather lengthy break for the international break. We've recharged our batteries. I'm not talking about the players, I'm talking about myself. And we are back here for the preview. It is Newcastle versus West Ham. We begin the final stretch of the Premier League season on Tyneside. Newcastle, they're lingering a couple of places below us in the Premier League. So this game, as is every game in the run-up to the end of the season, it's important. Of course it is. Well, I hope you are well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Gary is joining. Gary, have you had a nice international break, mate?
I've had a great international break. I haven't watched any football at all, so I'm refreshed. Looking forward to Saturday lunchtime. With renewed enthusiasm to watch West Ham win 8-0. It'd be great.
Saturday lunchtime when it all comes crashing back down again. Cohen is joining us for the first time on the preview. You may recognise him from a show we did last weekend. It was now where he came on and we had a bit of a chat. Cohen, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
Good stuff. And also, better late than never, Mike's joining.
Mate, yeah, eventually, mate.
How are you, mate? Right?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Right, Gary, you were here first, so we'll start with you. Mike, these are gonna keep going. Gary said, "Take the mick out of him, mate. Take the mick out of him."
Yeah, Mike, you're later than one of Alvarez's tackles, mate.
Not that late, surely, mate. What about one of my tackles?
Oh, we don't even want to go there, Mike. We don't even want to go there. But Gary, Gary, we'll start with you. Newcastle, been a bit of a weird side this season. They had their Champions League sort of fun at the beginning of the season, and he's not really done much since then. They've been remarkably average. I don't know. Have you seen that coming off the made of Newcastle?
I think they probably overachieved last season, and then they've had the constraints of FFP because I think the owners want to put money in, but they can't. So they're sort of stuck with a limited squad. They've had loads of injuries, to be fair to them, so they're just struggling. But they can be hot and cold. They can win. They won 8-0 at Sheffield United, didn't they? And they've beaten some good teams. But on the other hand, they could lose. They lost down at Luton. They lost at Bournemouth, I think. So it's gonna be a tough old game. But I think they've got quite a few injuries. I know at least Callum Wilson's out, so he can't score against us, which is one thing. But
he'll come on with his crutches and knob one in.
Yeah, he always scores against us. But we've got quite a good record up at St James's Park. I think it's 1 defeat in the last 5 visits. So, we should go there full of confidence, I think.
Absolutely. Cohen, we've been on quite a lengthy break in terms of club football because of the international break. We're coming straight back into this. It's a difficult place to go, Newcastle. We're without Edson Alvarez due to a yellow card suspension, which is quite a big loss. How are you feeling about it, mate?
Well, I mean, that's just Edison Alvarez. He just goes on and does his thing and gets yellow cards. But I mean, I think we'll go on and do well. Obviously, Callum Wilson's out, and he always scores against us, so that would be a good thing because then that would also give us a bit of a step forward chance because also we've had Bowen and. Well, the people who went out on international, Paqueta played well, and so did Bowen, because I was watching all the England and Brazil games. They did well. So I think that will build them up confidence, and they'll go into the Newcastle game playing well.
No, let's hope so. Mike, I'm going to give you a list of players that are injured for Newcastle, which then tempts fate of us losing 1-0. Right, this is their injury list. Nick Pope, Sven Botman, Sandro Tonali's out with a betting issue. Joe Linton, Lewis Miley, Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier, Tino Livramento and Harvey Barnes. All sidelined, won't play. Newcastle 1, West Ham 0.
I'm predicting there'll be lots of goals in this game, mate, so it will probably be 0-0. But joking aside... they've been a little bit unlucky, to be fair to them. But they've lost a lot of players this year through injury. They've had a struggle, but we've had years like that, mate, and you just got to wear it, and you just got to get on with it. That's what you got a big squad for, isn't it?
For sure. Oh, absolutely. And we've got to utilise this, and we're going to have to, we're forced into a midfield change, Gary, and somebody's put it in the chat. Michael says it here. Time for Phillips to earn his money. Exactly. Phillips is going to have to come in here,
He's got a massive 3 games. 3 games. He's got this game, he's got Spurs, and then he's got the Germans away. So he's got some really, really big games. And he's a big game player. He's got the experience. But like I said last time I was on, Jake, I think his confidence has been absolutely shattered. He needs a good game. He needs a good 10 minutes, first 10 minutes tomorrow. Get a good couple of tackles in, play a couple of passes, and then he'll be fine. Because you remember his last game at home to Burnley, he was awful the first 10 minutes. and you could see his confident head dropping. And he needs exactly the reverse. He's had 2 weeks off. Hopefully, Moyes has got into him a little bit. Shows a bit of psychology. Showed him some good games, and he'll start positively on Saturday. That's what I hope.
Let's hope so.
Massive game for a massive game.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips hasn't been great, Cohen, but as Gary's just said, Alvarez got 2 games out of the Premier League. He's also suspended for the first leg of the game against Bayer Leverkusen. It's a massive, massive 3 games for somebody like Calvin Phillips, who's going to have to come in to the side because we haven't got too many other players. And he's going to have to step up because he hasn't done that so far, has he?
No, he hasn't done a lot because we had that game against Nottingham Forest where he was dreadful. He even got a red card in there. But was it the last Europe game we played? I think it was against Freiburg. When it was I thought when he came on, he'd done a bit. Did he come on, or was it the game before that?
Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Come on for the game.
He came on and done some good bits and pieces. I thought he played well when he came on. I think he's more of a rotation player than he is of a starter. But hopefully he can get in there and just do what Gary said and string in a couple passes and put in some good challenges.
Let's hope so. Michael says, Cohen, the main host. Well, thank you very much, Michael. I'll get my coat, but no, of course. Absolutely. Mike, there's got to be a mindset shift here a little bit. As we enter the final part of the season, we're battling for this last European spot. I'm sorry, this is a game with them lingering just below us. It's not a must-win game, but it's a game that we need to win with our best interests at heart here. And look, it's a difficult place to go, St James's Park. No one's forgetting that. But it's a winnable game as well with how they've done this season. We can get at them.
Yeah, I think defensively they've been poor. I've watched the last few games, and they are get at a ball at the back. But you've got to give it to them. They have got strengths going forward, so that's why I predict there'll probably be a few goals in it. But to be totally honest, it's a good time to play them. Callum Wilson, who always does things against us, even if they aren't totally legal. But joking aside, I honestly think that this is a good opportunity for us to go out there and get a result. And even if we don't lose, it keeps them below us and keeps us in with a chance of staying either in the 7th or 8th at maybe the Conference League again next year. So it's quite an important game, really. You're right, Jake. It'd be great to get the 3 points, but I don't think it'd be a disaster to get the 1.
Yeah. Oh, no, exactly. Gary, would you take a point if I give it to you now Saturday lunchtime?
I think so. I'll definitely take a point. It'll be interesting to see how Moyes sets up, because the last 2 home games he's been very attacking. For sure, he probably won't be on Saturday. Both defenses leak goals, so I think 0-0 is like a 10,000 to 1 shot. So it's going to be goals. There's going to be some goals there for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably a safe bet. The big question is, Cohen, can you get your mate Paolo to sit on the bench and maybe 20 minutes off the bench to change the game? Can you just make that phone call for us?
Yep. I've got the phone right here to do it.
Shit. Brilliant. We'll do that after the show.
What I'll do, I'll come on in the 60th minute, do what he did against Chelsea, and also do what he did against Wimbledon. And then we'll go 1-0 down, and don't know who will score for them, but then he'll come on in the 60th minute and score 2 amazing goals.
There you go. You've had it here first. You don't get this anywhere else. Go to any other West Ham news channel, you won't get it anywhere else. Haddon says we never start well after an international, but we always seem to still be in a bit of holiday mode, don't we? Because most of the players don't go off an international, and the likes of obviously all the players. I mean, Bowen's gone off, and there's been quite a few that's gone, but quite a few stay. We're all sort of in holiday mode. Oh Christ, we're back into it, especially Saturday lunchtime as well, Mike. I'll struggle to get myself out of bed and to the pub in time to watch this in Newcastle Saturday. But I mean, I don't want to blame the fixture time, but Saturday lunchtime isn't exactly fun, is it? And we need to get ourselves up for it.
It's not great when you've got to travel all the way to Newcastle, for a 12:30 start. A lot of my mates are going on up there, leaving 3:30 in the morning, and
Jesus,
it's Good Friday tomorrow. I've got to go up on the Good Friday like a weekend.
Yeah, I know. But joking aside, mate, it's not easy. But that's TV for you, mate, and every time, we take some monies from TNT, Sky Sports, whatever, but we seem to get a fair share of these sort of games. I know Mr. Klopp's always moaning about it, but joking aside again, it's not easy for us when you got to travel all that way, and and at 12:30 games, I don't like them, to be totally honest.
No, I don't.
No.
Jake,
To
what's
be
the
fair,
latest on what's the latest on Kudus? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I mean, there was he was pictured training today with the team. Obviously, he withdrew from the Ghana national team squad. I was actually at Wembley when it was all released, and that was last week now. And he withdrew from that. And yeah, I mean, there's been no real update. I don't know whether Moyes has done his press conference. I probably should have checked before. I will have a look now.
I don't think he has. No.
I haven't seen it out and about, but I mean, if we were without Kudus and Alvarez, that would be an absolute calamity, and I certainly would take the point then absolutely and run with it. If I'm totally honest, I think we just got to pray, Cohen, especially. Obviously, we know Alvarez is out, but Kudus, he's such a key player, and hopefully, he's back fit.
100%. The thing is, since Ghana put him home, he needs to rest, but. I hope he's fit enough for Saturday. And also about that 12:30 kickoff, it's very odd time for us to go away to Newcastle. I think it's very, very odd.
Yeah, it is. And, Newcastle get it quite often. Newcastle have had so many over the years, like 12:30 kickoffs in London. And it's just ridiculous. I don't like the kickoff time. The only plus of it is if I'm a bit of a lion, not that I do very often, of course, on a Saturday, is that if I get up about 11, our happy days of football's on in an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
So that's the only plus of it. But for fans, it's just rubbish. Honestly, it's just rubbish. And it's either got the opportunity, Mike, to destroy your weekend, especially because it's a bank holiday weekend, a double bank holiday weekend. It can either destroy it or it can make it even better, can't it?
It can, but I mean, if you do get a win, and then you can just sit back and relax, can't you? And watch all the rest. Worry about their results then.
For sure. Right, let's take some comments and see who else is joining us. Luca, thanks for joining us. Hope you are well. There is a good player in there somewhere. I think Pep killed him, saying he was overweight and unfit. His confidence is shot. It is, and that comment, and even Klopp, Pep after has admitted how probably ill-timed and ill-judged that comment was. And I just don't think he's picked up his confidence that he's had. And to be fair, can you blame him, really? He's been chucked in some games and he's struggled massively, but we're going to have very little choice but to start him on Saturday. And it wasn't until earlier today someone reminded me that Alvarez is out, and I just went, it's just an effort then, isn't it? It's just a real struggle, but we've got to dig deep and go through it. Just subscribe to you guys. Really impressive with the channel first time watch. Thank you very much indeed. See, I bring Mike on and it just brings all these people on.
Especially when you're late.
Hey, there we go. Look at the confidence on that. I've just got highlight as well. Look at the Mike. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm a bad influence.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously.
Hold my hands up.
I love it. Andy, thanks for joining us. I hope you are keeping well. Where else did I get to here? Michael says, good luck to do the weekly roundup of games on a Monday. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't think we'll be doing a roundup this week because we've got Spurs on the Tuesday. So I'll have to get Sean on to do a preview for the Spurs game on the Tuesday. Mike, you going up to the Spurs game?
Yeah, I am, mate. Yeah. I just a late one, isn't it? 8:15, which is another absolutely ridiculous time,
Exactly. Well, Mike, you can buy me a Diet Coke then when I see you there.
Yeah. You coming up?
I am, yeah. I am. Good stuff. Right, 1 to 2.
What do you think of the season ticket increases?
Yeah, mine's not gone up that much, mate, but I knew it was going to happen. I mean, everything's gone up in it. I was expecting it to go up, but I'm not in the posh seats. I'm in band 5. So
what a dig at Gary that is, Let. That's a good dig at Gary.
Only for that, Mike.
No, mate. Yours has obviously gone up more than mine because it costs more than mine.
Mine's $14.65 each now. That's a lot, isn't it?
Flipping hell, mate. That's a lot of money. How much has it actually gone up?
6%. So it's, I think it's about, I have to check, 90 quid a season or something. I can't remember.
90 quid, yeah.
I've
Mine's
got,
gone up
I've got
about
it. I've got it here
20 quid, I
actually.
think.
Hang on.
15 quid, I think.
I'm in at 1966. That's it.
There
Billy
it
Bond.
is.
That's me.
Billy
14.45.
Bond.
85 quid.
14.45. Yeah. What are you, Mike? 4 or 5? Band 4 or 5?
I'm 5.
There we go. There we go.
10%. Christ.
Yeah, I know. 10%. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
One row below me is the next band.
It's band 4. You've had a blinder then. Yeah, with that. You've had a blinder. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Returning to current affairs. Trying to identify players that are going to be a bit of a challenge to us from Newcastle. They've got so many out. I don't know, but I think altogether, Gordon's out.
Gordon's playing well, isn't he?
He's out.
Gordon's
out as well.
Yeah, he is.
That would be a lot of trouble.
And I really like Isaac up front. He scored 2 against us at London Stadium. Yeah. He's a good player, so I like him.
They can go and goal for them, Carriers.
Yeah, because Nick Pope's like they've got Carriers and they really are down to the bad bones, to the bare bones.
Bare bones.
The Brazilian lad in midfield is a good player as well, whatever his name is.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
Guimaraes, yeah. So look, they've got good players there, and Eddie Howe as manager. He's a really good, respectable manager in the Premier League as well. They are a good outfit and a good side, but as the league table reflects, they aren't fantastic, and we are going to be about give them a good go, Cohen.
Yeah, I mean they're a very good side, but they've got a lot of people out, so they're not going down a good road this season compared to what they did last season. Yeah. They've been unlucky this season with some injuries. They picked up a lot when from the international break, but yeah. Gordon went off for England, so maybe that could give him some confidence coming back into the side. I'm struggling elsewhere, Mike. It's they're just a bit of a scratch of the head, Newcastle, this season, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are, but as Gary said, that Isak looks a good player. Almiron, Gordon, they've got players up front that can cause us problems. I think, really, to be honest, Jake, I think they overachieved last year, and that has been Eddie Howe's problem, really, is they overachieved, and this year they're just, dropped a little bit. I mean, if they were somewhere in between in both years, I think Newcastle fans would be well happy with that. You've got to remember they were struggling relegation. The year before they was bottom of the league. I mean, they was in big trouble. So I think he overachieved. He jumped from there up into a Champions League position. They was never ready for playing the Champions League. They're not there yet, but they're a team that one day probably can get in the Champions League and compete. There's no doubt about that with the money they've got. But as we know, with FFP, they cannot spend it yet.
No, I agree 100%, Mike. The top 3 in our league are miles clear of everybody else. I mean, Arsenal destroyed us at London Stadium. You've got City, who are just a brilliant team. Liverpool, a brilliant team. And the 4th place is up for grabs, I think. This season's Villa, last season's Newcastle. Next season might be Spurs or even us, depending on what we do in the summer. But the top 3 are so far clear. To make that step, you need to change the FFP rules, because Newcastle can't do it unless they're changed.
No, I think a fair assessment with Newcastle is I'm going to refrain from using the word average, but they had decent players playing out of their skin. Dan Burn is a perfect example. Last season, Dan Burn was excellent last season, and I've heard some Newcastle fans actually criticising this season and say, why is he continue to being started? Longstaff is another one. Almiron, you could probably factor in there as well. So last season, everything sort of strung together for Newcastle, and it worked, and they had players playing probably better than what they are. This season, they've regressed a little bit. They've been sort of back to reality, I want to say. And I think if they wouldn't have finished so high last season, and all of a sudden they dream of Champions League and the Premier League and all the rest of it, I think they'd actually be quite happy with where they are now. But I think from their perspective, maybe they're just a little bit underwhelmed with how they've done this season as a result of last season. Cohen, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's just the Saudi Arabians, like the people who took over from them. They've just got billions, even more than billions. And it's just, as soon as they got into Champions League last season, and they hoped to get really high in that, get back into top 4 this season. They got their hopes up, and then they've dropped down to what is it, 8th?
10th, they are.
10th. I thought it was 8th. That's even worse.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I think with Newcastle is it wouldn't surprise me if they sack Eddie Howe at the end of the season and they get a little bit too big for their boots and they try and get back up to where they were before. I don't know. It's an interesting debate, Newcastle, about where they're going. And of course, they've got that pretty much bottomless pit of money, but as we've just highlighted there, they can't spend it because of the FFP restrictions that have already docked points for not Newcastle, for Everton and Nottingham Forest. So they've got to be wary of that as well. And to be fair, they have, because they could have came and just spent a ridiculous amount of money and then been really, really under the cosh with FFP, but they haven't. They've been quite smart about it, and this season they just haven't pushed on.
That's where it's unfair, Jake, because Chelsea did it years ago. Abramovich, City did it, and now they've got all that revenue. You know, it's locked in before the FFP rules come in, so it's not really fair, I don't think, to be honest. Exactly. Right, let's take some more of your comments and predictions coming in. 1-1, Isak and Bowen to score. That's not bad. Something else is happening on Saturday. Mike, do you know what else is happening on Saturday?
Can't remember.
It's Dad's birthday.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yeah.
The wife's birthday on Monday.
Oh, I see.
I can't forget that one, mate.
No, you can't. Christ, you can't. April Fools. Is that right? I did get that right, didn't I?
I haven't got your present. I got your present. No, I haven't. Oh,
oh yes, I have.
Present is air.
Oh, there you go. Present is there. I like it. Yeah. Dad's birthday on Saturday. So if we can reward him with 3 points, because he ain't getting nothing else from me, that'll be greatly appreciated. Again, that's a joke. Catch on.
3 points.
All he's getting is 3 points, and hopefully that is the case. Right, we will go on here's a question. I see a darts board in the background. Cohen, do you like your darts?
It's all right. I'm okay at it.
Yeah.
Your dad's better then.
Yeah, only just.
I mean, I did win 50 quid for it in a bullseye.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Wow.
I'll have a go for 50 quid.
Yeah, so will I. Very good. But your dad's a bit better then, so not too much of you catching him up, are you?
No, not much better. It's just a home bar, Jake, to be fair. One of the things which then went into it, and I'm not great, to be fair.
Oh, that's a bit harsh on yourself. I'm sure you beat Mike. Mike can't reach the board like me. We can't reach the board, Mike, can we?
No, mate. I've used to play, but it's so long ago since I used to. I used to play when I was a kid. When I was 15, I was playing a darts team.
There we go.
That's getting brought up in a pub, mate. That's the problem with that.
Those days, Mike, the dart would have Roman numerals around the outside, didn't it?
Oh, that wasn't very nice, Gary. I'm the one that's supposed to make the experienced jokes, not the old jokes, the experienced jokes to like. Richard, Jake got you a cream egg. Yeah, you can have a cream egg if you like.
Push the boat egg.
Only the little one.
Only the little one, yeah, not a big one. I can't afford that. only the little 89p ones for sure. But right, we are digressing. Predictions, I reckon. Gary, we've just taken an almighty gulp out of Moretti. I'm feeding.
Stella, I think. Yeah.
Stella.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 2-2.
Desmond. There we go. Right, we're going to end with Cohen because I'm sure he'll be right. Mike.
We're going to win 2-1. There we are. Poking me neck.
Yeah.
Hope you're right, Mike.
To be fair, I'm a little bit out of touch with this because I knew that would happen. Because now I can't go right. What we do here, Cohen, is you can't have the same prediction as somebody else. So if you wanted to go 2-1 West Ham, you can't anymore, unfortunately. Oh, your jaw's just dropped.
Mike just stole my answer.
See, Mike steals my answer every week.
I always do that.
I'll go for 3-1 because I got Carriers in goal.
Okay, there we go. 3-1. So you've both nicked my prediction down the bottom. Brilliant. I think there'll be goals in this. It's all right. I think there'll be goals in this.
For sure.
I'm gonna contradict myself because I don't think we're gonna win 4-1. Oh no, we're not gonna win 4-1.
No.
3-2. I'm gonna go.
That's good. That's good.
I was gonna go 1-0, but I thought that was.
You know, it's 0-0 on 0-0 now, Jake. You know
it
that.
is, yeah.
It won't be 0-0, Mike. We both know that.
No, not with our defence.
No chance at all.
Mike, we're drowned out of football after the Wincanton game got called off a little bit later on. Didn't you get down there and sort it out, Mike?
Mate, I tell you what, I've never driven through rain like that today. I had to slow down to about 25 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was like someone chucking buckets of water at us.
Yeah.
There's no shock in that being off, mate. I'll tell you, there ain't going to be a lot of Western League football played this weekend, I don't think.
That's not. See, Mike, I really do like you doing that because we were going to miss it and I quite wanted to come to it. So you've just put it back for us. I see, Mike. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Cheers. Nothing to do with the weather. You just thought, oh, Jake can't come. So we've got
no, Jake, so better call it off.
Exactly. No Jake, no party. That's what they say, innit? Right. 3-2 West Ham. Bowen to score. Souček to score. And Paqueta to score. He'll do that backflip thing that he did.
No, Calvin Phillips.
Against Leeds last season.
He did do that, yeah. Right, final thoughts. Gary, finish things off.
Tricky games, you say, Jake. I just hope we're positive. The last two games have been really enjoyable to watch. So let's hope we attack on the front foot because it's the best form of defence. With our defence, the best thing we can do is attack. So I really hope we can start positively on the front foot and we don't sit back as we normally do and try to counter-attack because we're not good enough to defend. Simple as that.
For sure. Cohen, let's have your rallying cry for the team then. Some final thoughts.
I think Paqueta will score.
Yeah.
I also think Bowen will score. And
one more. Come on, one more.
Calvin Phillips will score.
Calvin Phillips. He stuck his head out.
He will score from the halfway line. He'll go right top corner and he'll let the James Ward-Prowse swing. And James Ward-Prowse will be getting in the ring with him.
Well, Cohen, I tell you what.
Cohen, I didn't watch the England game, but they say Paqueta was the best player on the pitch, was he?
Well, not really. He should have had a battle right. He should have had a
done.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But well, I'll tell you what, if Calvin scores from the halfway line, I want the lottery numbers from you, Cohen, if I'm totally honest. I want that to happen. And if it does, I'll be straight on the phone. The question is, will Jake make the club on Saturday night in Newquay? The question is, Mike, will Dad make it? Should we go back? Should we go back? I'll tell you what, the last time though, there's only one time since you had your famous trip to Amsterdam where you've actually gone out properly. So Mike, maybe you're the decisive factor in this. You've got to egg him on a bit.
Yeah, you've seen that video too many times of me, and I know, Jake, that's trouble.
What? In the bar going like this?
You get the wrong opinion of me now. A lot of people get a wrong opinion of me now, Jake.
One too many, Mike, didn't you? You had one too many.
No. We had a good time, mate. We enjoyed it.
I know you did. Well, to be fair, you were in Amsterdam, so yeah, enjoy yourself, Mike.
Nice city.
Final thoughts, Mike. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts is hopefully we'll be progressive, positive, get on the front foot, and have a go. I mean, we've proved in a couple of the recent games. As Gary's just said, if we go out and attack, I think that's the best form of defence because we can't sit back in. We've proved that this year so many times that we've just tried to sit in there, suck it up, get a draw, catch a team on a break. But defensively, I just don't think we're cute enough.
Yeah.
So we got to use what we're good at, and that is our front three can match anyone on a day.
Yeah.
And give any defence in that league, I don't care who they are, a hard time. So that's what we got. That's what we got to concentrate on. And I just hope Mr. Moyes is clicked into that tomorrow and Saturday. And we go out there and get a result.
Let's hope so. Absolutely. A lot of plaudits for you coming in, Cohen. You should just take over my job because I'm being done out of a job here. Brilliant stuff from you. Well, Cohen, thank you very much indeed. Gary and Mike, as well as always, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Mike, if you're lucky, I'll buy you a pint on Tuesday if you're drinking. If you're lucky.
I might have a shandy.
Shandy.
Take your money, Mike. You won't see Jake's wallet. They call him T-Rex because his hands don't reach his pockets.
I didn't even know he had a wallet.
Stop taking the mick out of Listen, I like to preserve my money. All right, Cohen, I can't buy you a pint, but I'd very happily buy you a Diet Coke, mate.
Oh, if you did, you buy me a Stella because Bellingham against the Belgians as well. So you got to rob it straight in their face with a Stella.
I love this kid. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right. As well, Gary, don't think I'll leave you out. I might buy you. Well, to be fair, I don't think I'm going to buy you a drink after those comments, actually, on Tuesday. So,
no change there then, Joe.
No.
What's wrong with you two tonight? Honestly, what are you doing? All right, I might 50-50. Depends how I'm feeling. Depends whether I can get my hands down to my pockets on Tuesday night, Gary and Mike. We'll just see what happens, shall we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, unbelievable. Honestly, where's Nigel? I'm gonna boot you two off and have Nigel.
Come back, Nigel. Always forgiven.
Cohen, Mike, Gary, thank you very much. A pleasure as always.
Cheers, guys.
From us, only one thing left to say. Lions, love it. And we will see you soon here on West Official. The final thought is, Cohen, what are we?
We're massive.
See you soon. Bye-bye.